Que durin 2 años, ¿no? Sí. Oye, una cosa que no había plantejado mai. Perquè ell tenia 12 anys, segur que no. Quina edat tenia?
A veure, qui són...
Bueno, no et pensis, quan tenia 20... A veure, amb 27...
Margie Cervelli.
Saps qui?
Meet.
El Nokia.
Margie Cervelli.
Oh, era un totxo així. I es treves l'antena així i te poses aquí.
Era el mag dels telèfons.
Tothom et mirava.
Hassan al-Husseini.
Tothom et mirava. Jo amb el meu telèfon, ja. Tenia un que era verd i era...
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Albert, I can hear you.
Okay, so should we allow people in?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do that.
Hi everyone. Could we check the attendance, please?
Hello.
Okay. Hello, Marcus. Do you hear me, Marcus? Marcus?
Do you mean me?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
okay, I
you.
hear you.
Hassan Al-Husseini. Hassan Al-Husseini. Hassan, do you hear me?
I'm here, yeah, I'm here.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Hassan. Ahmed Yassin and Anwar. Ahmed Yassin.
Oh, I'm here. I'm Anwar. I'm here.
Thank you, Anwar. Thank you. Ahmed Yassin. Okay, Ahmed is still not here. Wajdan bin Hassan, or bin Hussein, sorry. Wajdan.
Yes, I am here.
Wajdan, could you please open your camera because in the debate we have to see your face?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Then Mohammed Najib bin Ashur. Mohammed Najib.
He will not attend this debate. I will take the both roles.
So you have a backup debater, or you will act for the two rules?
I will be the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister.
Okay, thank you. Then Georgios from Greece.
Yep.
Thank you, Georgios. Nice to meet you again. Salma.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Salma. Rawa Ferjani. Rawa.
I'm here.
Thank you, Rawa. Ahmed Amin. Rawa. Ahmed Amin.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Ahmed. Noor Mu'min. Noor from Libya.
Not here. Brahim will take the both rooms. Third and fourth speaker of the opposition.
And Farah is not here as well, Noor, right?
I'm here instead of Farah, and Noor she's not gonna attend this debate.
So you will do both. Oh, good luck. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining this debate. This is Mohammed Arai, the lead of adjudication for this second round from the Euromed Debate and Policy Forum. As you may know, that we have some important rules that we have to make sure that every one of you are familiar with that rules. This round debate will be, this house believes that governments of developing countries should proactively incentivize students to study in their own countries. Again, this house believes that the governments of developing countries should proactively incentivize students to study in their own countries. There are some important rules. I think that some of you have been be familiar with that, but we have to make sure that all of you know these rules. The first one is all of the speeches will be 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. And for the point of information, there is no any point of information is allowed during the first and the last minute. Again, there is no any point of information is allowed during the first and the last minute, and there should be 15 seconds between BOIs. The style of asking the BOI, you just open your microphone because all of you will be muted, and then ask the speaker like this, point of information, and just wait for 5 seconds. The BOI is dismissal in case of no response. For the timekeeping, I will be the timekeeper, or Marcus, if you could help me, it would be great. Marcus or Hassan. Anyway, I will be the timekeeper as well for this. Then you will hear a ring from a bell after 1 minute. I would like to make sure that all of you hear this sound.
يعني إذا كنت مش عارف ما بيحكي ما بتفهم عليه ولا كلمة إنجليزي.
Sorry, Danny?
Sorry, I was just sending a message. Sorry, I need to be muted.
Okay. So you will hear this from this. All of you hear this ring. This is that you will hear after 1 minute and the last minute for your speech. And then after the debate, we will have to leave the room, and all the educators have 15 minutes to do the briefing, and then we will announce the winning team. Good. So good luck, guys. We know that debating behind the screen is something so weird for all of us, but we are expecting a lot from all of you. Good luck, and we have to start our debate right now. Please, for the Prime Minister, you have 5 minutes, and the floor is yours.
Welcome everyone. We came here to discuss a very important issue, a very important motion. This motion is, this House believes that governments of developing countries should proactively incentivize students to study in their own country. Actually, we are living today in a crisis. That's the brain drain. The immigration of the students from the developing countries to the developed one. We mean the students by the persons who are engaged in learning, who studies, who investigates in schools or universities. The developing countries are the countries who are less industrialized and have lower per capita income levels, like Nigeria, North Africa, Mexico. So to find solutions to this problem, the brain drain and the immigration of students, we want to incentivize those students to stay in their countries. We mean by incentivize, we mean to motivate and to encourage them to stay in their countries and study in their universities. Actually, the action plan that we are going to use is so effective and efficient. First, we are going to allocate more budget in the to the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Researches to give the elite scholarships to study in their own universities and to open high-quality laboratories in the universities so they can do their own research. And now I am going to give our strategy. I will give an economical argument, while the Deputy Prime Minister will give, we will give an argument from a pedagogical point of view. So my first argument says that we should prevent the immigration of the students because it causes the decreasing of the growth of those developing countries. Actually, I refuse. Actually, the developing countries are suffering from the lack of expertise and skilled workers in different fields, like in the economies. Like if we talk about lawyers, teachers, doctors, who are unfortunately who left their own countries for better life and opportunities, but they never come back to their own countries. The elites of the best high schools who graduated with the best grades leave the countries and they study abroad and stay there. They become a reason of the economical growth of the developed countries. They pay their taxes there. They invest in new things there. They work and make successful businesses there. And those who stay here in those developing countries are the normal people who are not able to make a change or a difference to their own countries. The students who join, the universities in the developing countries are the elite. Yes.
Does the government realize that they are breaching the human rights document that says in Article 7, the free movement should be allowed, that is essential human right?
Yes, actually we didn't say that she will make them to stay. She will incentivize, she will encourage them. So she will give them a lot of other motivation ways so they can stay in the universities. She will make the universities better. She will give them scholarships so that they can stay here. She will not make them stay here. She will give them the choice. No, sorry.
So Marcos, could you please wait or stop the timer, please? Thank you. So guys, Wajdan, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. We missed the last maybe 15 seconds. Please try to continue your speech. The timer is in front of your screen. So please repeat what you have missed since 10 seconds or maybe 15 seconds.
Can you hear me now? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
As an example, the EMF ranked Iran as the highest in brain drain among 19 countries with over 180,000, while 18 of them don't.
Marcos, please stop it again. Thank you. Guys, just for your information, based on
Back to
our
Iran.
issue
So it's dangerous. Thank you.
we have another issue again with your internet connection.
Yes.
So please,
Yes, I
please, you
know.
have only less than 1 minute to finish your speech.
Thank you very much. As an example, the EMF ranks Iran as the highest in brain drain among 19 countries with over 118,000, while 80% of them don't come back to Iran. So despite this huge number of the elites and immigration, Iran is still one of the poorest countries, and Iran is still one of the poorest countries. So this is the effect of the brain drain. We must stop it so that the elites will stay in their countries, will become a part of their countries to ameliorate its own economics and the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite the leader of opposition. You only have 5 minutes. Please go ahead.
Okay, welcome everyone. So this is the leader of opposition, and right now we are opposing the motion, and which is this house believes that the governments of developing countries should proactively incentivize students to study in their own countries, and we accept the motion if the governments of developing countries should not proactively incentivize students to study in their own countries, but they should encourage them to travel abroad. So right now, I need to redefine quickly some definitions here about the developing countries. The developing countries from our end here, we can see that it's each and every country that tries to develop itself and is still working in developing the country itself economically and socially. And regarding the proactively, it's like funding or making programs for the students in the countries. So from our end here, I need just before saying the action plan for our end here, I just need to say some comments on the Prime Minister. From our end here, I can see that she was saying that she going to allocate more money for scholarships and everything like this. I see that from our end here, allocating more money to funding of programs that happens abroad or in different countries, that's better than happening in the same country. It's better for me and our team that you're developing people with different backgrounds, not only like all people on the same background. And like if I said that all students should study in their own countries, there would be no variety. Like, you know, everything and each and every student would be in the same background. So from my end here, I want to talk about the technicality and the points of the action plan that we're going to discuss right now. And the name of the action plan is the Global Balance Experience Exchange. Let me explain more about this name. Yes.
Okay, so you just mentioned that if the students are studying in their own country, there is no variety. So don't you see that in the same community, in the same country, there is a variety, there are different races, there are different people in the same country? Is it,
yes.
Isn't it a variety? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a variety. However, just we travel to get a culture exchange and more people from all over the world. That's a bigger variety. I'm talking here about the bigger variety, not the like local variety. Local variety exists. We all agree about this. However, what we're talking about right now is a variety that it's like culture exchange, and the program or the action plan that I'm going to discuss right now will explain everything right now. So I'm talking about the technicality. What's the Global Balance Experience Exchange? That's the exchange of students according to countries' needs. For example, from maybe for like right now, Egypt has 100 students, and we want to study something that doesn't exist in Egypt. We can't travel to Tunisia. And Tunisia will provide us also with 100 Tunisian people, students, that are going to learn something in Egypt that doesn't exist in Tunisia. So it's like culture exchange, 100 from Egypt to go 100 from Tunisia, and they are going to exchange information and knowledge for a period of time, that will be sorry, and that's for we're targeting the graduates and also the PhD candidates and postgraduates that are going to implement something in the future. So right now we're targeting these people, and how we're going to do this? We're going to do this through an application. They are going to apply and sign a contract, and they have to follow the rules. Whenever they travel to any country to study something abroad, they have to follow some steps, like no one will commit a crime or steal something or stay in this country after the period. And if anyone breaks these rules, he will be banned from entering this country one more time. So and also we are saying that each and every person or each and every student going to study something for a period of time outside of the country, he will learn this and come back to his country to make sure that he can implement a project in this country. So it's a bigger variety. I'm talking right now. It's like learning something you didn't have in your own country and get back after the period of time of learning this outside and implement this in your country. So it's bigger variety. It's bigger in creativity. I feel that when someone is studying in the same country and all students in the same country, there is no creativity. And why we're doing this action plan? To encourage people to feel free to study whatever they want. So at the end of speech, I'm talking about that we totally against this motion, and we see that each and every person has the right to learn something from outside of his own country. And my teammate will talk about more about the implication of this action plan. And thank you so much for that.
Thank you, the Leader of Opposition. Now we will turn to the Deputy Prime Minister. You have only 5 minutes. Please go ahead.
Welcome again. Before I will give my argument, I would like to refute what the Leader of Opposition said. Actually, he claimed that studying abroad is better than studying here in your own country, because in your own country there is no variety, etc. And there are not many fields that exist in the developing countries. So we must go outside, must go in foreign places, foreign countries to study there. But here, I don't agree with you, because I think that this is the time to ameliorate our own educational system. If you're saying that there are a lot of fields that are lacking, for example, in Tunisia, I think that now Tunisia should provide all the fields here, that Tunisia should encourage its own students to stay here in Tunisia, study here in Tunisia, by providing them with the professors, with the teachers, with the materials, with the laboratories. I think there is no need to travel abroad if the government ameliorate the educational system, ameliorate the universities of Tunisia. And this is our action plan. This is what we want. We want from the universities to have all different fields, so that the student won't have to go outside, to go to foreign countries to study there. He must study in his own country. Now I would give my own argument with an argument from pedagogical point of view. We should actually prevent the immigration of the students, because it caused the decrease of the quality of the universities and the educational systems in the developing countries. In fact, if the elite of every country would leave the country and study abroad in foreign universities, they would become a member in it. They would give all of their potentials and creative ideas to those universities that will invest all of their creation to its own behalf. While the universities of their own hometown of the developing countries will lose its own elites, the best skilled students, the competitiveness, the creativity. That's why there are no university from a developing country in the list of the 25 best universities in the world. all of the best universities are in developed countries. In USA, for example, if you're talking about Stanford, about Harvard, about the University of Chicago. Yes.
So we do acknowledge as an opposition that these universities are excellent. We are saying that more students from all over the world should visit those universities. Don't you think so?
Okay, thank you for your question. My point is, those universities are the best universities because the best students in the world go to them. For example, if you're talking about Tunisia, in Tunisia, all the students or the elites of the high schools will always go to to other universities. In France, in Germany, they will never study here in Tunisia. Why? Here we ask why. The government of Tunisia should take responsibility and encourage those students to stay here in Tunisia so they can stay in the Tunisian universities and make them better. We can't find any university in the top 25 because I refuse, because all the elites in the world go to the universities in the developed countries. And this statistics, this fact is based on the Erasmus website. So this fact shows us, I refuse. No, this fact shows us that if we keep sending our best students to those universities, we will never ameliorate or increase the rate of our universities. We will never ameliorate our own university and educational systems. So we should prevent this immigration. We should keep the elites in our countries. We should encourage them to study in our own universities. We should encourage them to do their own researches in our universities, to be creative in our own universities, so they can help their own country, not go outside and help the other developed countries. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ujdan. For your speech. Now we will have to turn to the Deputy Leader of Opposition. 5 minutes. Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So, as the Deputy Leader of Opposition, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that our House strongly opposes the motion in the sense that these developed countries should encourage the students to go abroad and study in countries other than their own. Of course, we allow the choice for the students to do so. But of course, through our action plan, we make sure that these students uncap their creativity to go and seek whatever they want. As my job would be explaining the implication of our action plan, which is the global balanced experience exchange. But first, I would like to comment on some points made by the government. So the first speaker of the government said developing countries suffer lack of expertise in many fields. That is the point of our action plan, the fact that each country suffer a lack of fields. Such a plan would ensure that students would go abroad, bring experience and learn and come and implement a project in their own countries. This is actually one of the rules of our program, that the students go outside, study, and come back with a program or a project or a plan for their country in that field. Second of all, she gave
point of information.
No, thank you. The first speaker gave the example of Iran. She said that Iran suffers brain drain, 80% never come back. Doesn't the government think that these people don't come back for the reason that Iran does not respect human rights? They do not respect human principles. They are facing persecution for their identity, and that's why they are leaving the country. I don't think they're leaving the country because of the education or the decent human condition that Iran provides. Moving on, they said that we should fix our education system and that many places have...
Point of information.
Yes, please.
How can you assure that the students will come back after graduation from universities?
As we said, we are making them sign a contract that the fact that they have to return back to their countries and they have to implement a project of some sort. So that is one of the rules that we stated clearly in our action plan. Moving on, these excellent universities such as Harvard and Yale and all the universities that the Deputy of the Prime Minister talked about is the reason why we want to send students abroad for them to learn from these universities. Now, going back to my implications, we will talk about the fact that unlike the breaching of human rights that the government is trying to implement here, the fact they're encouraging people not to migrate and not to have a free movement, unlike that, our action plan actually provides the free movement clause and the free movement chance for these.
Marcos, could you please stop it? Thank you. Guys, again, I want to just highlight the rules of adjudication just in case, and if there is any technical problem, we stop the timers as you can see, and then the speaker is kindly requested to repeat the time that he is disconnected. Okay. So now you missed just 10 seconds. You have to continue your speech, and then we will start the stopwatch again.
Okay. Like we said, our plan actually provides the free movement clause and supports it for students, as we said, graduate, postgraduate, and PhD students. Moving on, this plan actually strengthens the sense of globalization, socially speaking, that the students, instead of having globalization happening through technology, we are making it happen through reality. We are sending students for cultural exchange to get knowledge and to spread their own identity as well as share it with others. Moving on, we are uncapping, and this is the most important aspect of our action plan, that we are uncapping the creativity of these students. For example, Egypt is known for archaeology and paleontology. Hawaii is known for astrology. Germany is known for engineering. Japan known for IT, and many other countries known for a specific field, famous for being an expert in. These students, for example, a student from Saudi Arabia does not have the chance to study archaeology in its own country, wants to be a paleontologist or archaeologist. So we give them the opportunity to go and expand their knowledge and come back maybe to Saudi Arabia and open a project, or maybe start a private university teaching other students about the cultures and the fields of others. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, we think and we believe in the creativity and capacity of these students, and we believe in their sense of nationality for their own country. We know and we will make sure that these students learn the best that they can from the other countries, come back to their own countries, implement projects that can help their society and their government and better enhance their economy. As we know that the job market is global now, we need global fields, we need new fields, we need new opportunities for students to come, be in high school, is dreaming to be, for example, astrologists or astronomers. They have that chance thanks to our action plans, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that students should be encouraged to go and chase their careers somewhere else, or perhaps in their country. The choice is theirs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we will move to the next part of the debate, start from the member of the government. Please, 5 minutes, go ahead.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. So let me start my speech by confirming our position. I agree totally with today's motion, which said that the government of developing countries should proactively incentivize students to study in their own countries. But let me start my speech by just rebutting what the opposition team has mentioned before. Let me start by the deputy leader of opposition, that you mentioned that there is nothing, or you said that we can't guarantee that the students will come back to their countries after they finish their education. Actually, nothing guaranteed us. You can never guarantee this part. Students will never come back, and most of the students, this is the surprise, that most of the students, if not all of them, don't come back to their countries after finishing their education. And I will give you the evidence by the end of my argument. For the Prime Minister, you mentioned that the students must go abroad for facing a variety of backgrounds and so on. Don't you think that this variety may be a double-edged weapon, that it has an advantage, it may has a disadvantage? Students may face discrimination out of their countries. You may answer me that they say that they may also face a discrimination in their countries, but in their country they will face discrimination with a support, family support, parental support.
Point of information?
Thank you. all of these support of the relatives, friends, family, they will support them, especially at their early age. They are young people, they need support from the family. But abroad, outside their country, they may face discrimination without any support, and they may cause a lot for them, like psychological illness. And there are a lot of statistics that showed, for example, France, one of the leading countries in the education field all over the world, they have the highest rate of discrimination. So not always facing a variety of backgrounds is useful for students. Sometimes it's bad. So let me go through my argument today. Thank you. So we're claiming today that human resources loss is the result of studying abroad. So students that go abroad, definitely not all the students of the country go abroad, but they are often the brightest and the most talented students, and definitely they can bring a huge development and a huge economic growth to their home country. So they can turn their country from developing country to developed ones. So by traveling abroad, the developing countries lose the opportunity for getting more developed. But when they travel abroad, those students, the country really lose one of the most important resources, the human resources. Especially, as I mentioned before, the people who travel abroad, they usually don't come back. They often stay abroad seeking for a better global opportunities. And that's known by something mentioned in the first argument here from our team, the brain drain, which is a situation where the country loses its best workers. So after education, the students stay there and they don't come back to their country, though the country loses these talents. So their home country loses such a really important economic growth and such a really important human resource. Thank you. And however, the other countries, which is the major studying abroad destination, like the US, the London, Canada, Germany, etc., they become wealthier and wealthier. So we will be in a very undynamic state. The world will never change. The developed country will stay developed countries. They will keep getting more developed at the expense of the developing country. After they are tracking their talent, they are attacking their human resources.
Point of information.
Thank you. Also, moreover, that the developing countries has already initiated investment in their human resources. They are expecting to harvest the benefits of these human resources then. They are traveling, most of the people who travel, they travel after high school, like after spending 16 years of education in their home country. They paid a lot of huge amount to support this talent, but then they lose their investment. So it's a destructive loss, human resource loss, economical loss. So that's why we're against this motion, we're with this motion again. So the more studying abroad rate in the country, the poorer the country and the lower the economy. Let me tell you one of the evidences we have here. According to the study done by online university website, Ethiopia is one of the most important country or the highest country facing the brain drain, the immigration of their students abroad. And according to World Bank statistic, Ethiopia is one of the poorest country all over the world. And also here is the reply for the deputy of leader of opposition. According to statistic made by studying in the German website, 69.2% of international students prefer to stay in German after they finish their studies and not going back to their home countries. So let me conclude that. Studying abroad is very dangerous for developing countries. Developing countries will remain developing countries if they didn't attract their students to study in their home. So we totally support this motion today that we are encouraging developing countries to make their students remain here and stay in their country. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we have to go to the member of the opposition. 5 minutes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members of the proposition team, honorable colleagues from the opposition, honorable good evening. Well, today I want to just right now to comment on some points that the Prime Minister has mentioned. They mentioned a lot of talk about how we don't give them a chance, or we don't give them the resources or infrastructure for education, and it's time. The Prime Minister said that it's time to change our education system. But at the same time, he said they should not go away because we don't need the laboratory and we don't need the facilities in the foreign countries. So there's a huge contradiction here between two ideas, that you don't need the laboratories, you don't need the facilities. At the same time, you say that we should change our education system. Also, the honorable leader of opposition and the first team of the opposition made it clear how it's important for our youth and for our citizens to move away during their studies and come back and change their experience, and also with such a great impact on our societies and our culture and the seek of
information.
Thank you. And the sake of globalization. Also, the deputy leader of opposition said that it makes global balance experience, and it's crucially important for our society and diversity when we come back home. But let me right now focus on the the government member, when she said students will not come back, and she generalized, and she said, well, just few will come back, if not all. Well, that's generalization, which is not logical at all, and it's not based on any reason. You just mentioned Iran, which was for political reasons, and also you've mentioned Ethiopia, which is just not based. You just mentioned two countries with no common reasons on the developing countries' population. We've seen people going out from Egypt, see people go out from Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and all the Gulf countries, and they also come back to their homeland. So it's not a base, it's not a valid argument here. Also, you said the variety may face
information.
Yes, please.
Do you have number of the students that come back in Tunisia? A statistic, for example?
Well, I said that they will come back. I would say that it's not all of them come back, and I didn't generalize. I didn't say all of them will come back or all of them will not come back, but your member of government said most of them will not come back based on no evidence. So yes. And also she said that variety may face discrimination, which actually not true at all. We've seen developing countries, students in all of Europe, and they don't face discrimination. The European Constitution or the European Union Constitution protects the human rights aggressively and try to protect it by any means. Also in the United States.
Point of information.
No, thank you. Also in the United States, many students around the world go there, and the United States, one of the most diverse country in the world as population. So how when students come will face discrimination in their own population diverse? There's no official language in the United States, and you are talking about discrimination. Also, we claim and we believe that overseas opportunities providing strong and positive impact on liberal education. Liberal education is a crucially important point that we should speak right now. In the world we are living today, and is strongly connected and need of quality education and knowledge. The quality infrastructure is not provided in a great way in the developing countries. So I believe that developing countries can provide diversity and liberal education. Also, you can find the liberty, the diversity and variety and liberal education in developing countries, which is very, very obvious why we should go out and create more diverse exchange. Also, according to the United Nations Development Program, more than half of children have not enrolled in schools in Sub-Sahara because of lack of infrastructure. 617 million youth worldwide lack basic mathematics and literacy skills. That strongly means that we don't have the infrastructure and we don't have the proper education. Some 750 million adults, 2/3 of them women, remained illiterate in 2016. Half of the global literal population lives in South Asia and quarter live Sub-Saharan Africa. That means we should urge people to go out to get experience and to change and transfer into their homeland, which is not negative at all, which is crucially important for our society and our community to just give a step forward and move forward towards a better education system. Because as the Prime Minister mentioned, as the leader of opposition mentioned, that we don't have the enough infrastructure, we have to change to our education system. At last, I should thank you all and improve and say that I'm in favor and against this position, and we should not apply such a thing. Thank you.
Thank you. So the last speech for the team of government, the government whip, you have 5 minutes. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, panel. During my speech, I will summarize the debate and I will show you how we won the debate. How I'm going to do this, I will briefly describe the points that the opposition has made. I will deconstruct them.
Sorry. So you could please open your camera, please?
It's open. Can you see me?
No.
Okay, let me close it and now.
Ibrahim, please switch off your camera, Ibrahim. Thank you. So, sorry, you can start right now.
Okay. So as I said, I'm going to describe the points that the opposition made. I will deconstruct them as my teammate and the opening government members did. And I will then explain why our points matter most and bring the most impact into the debate. So to summarize the argument that the opposition has made is the argument, as they have called it, of the global experience. What do they mean by that? Students will travel to foreign countries, they will learn different practices, and then they will come back and they will benefit their home countries by bringing and implementing the practices they learned abroad, and they will have diverse mindsets and creative mindsets that they will release into their own countries for the benefit of the economy and their people. We have explained two main reasons why this argument does not stand. The first and the most important reason, as Salma pointed out, is that most students do not come back. And you mentioned Iran, we have mentioned Tunisia as well, we have mentioned diverse countries, not only where political persecution happens, but also safe countries that students just choose to go abroad and stay abroad because economic opportunities are better abroad, because they get paid better salaries, because they prefer their jobs abroad. And therefore, we have this phenomenon where, yes.
So simply you said that because of economic growth and economic conditions, so simple question, how you will encourage them and make them stay in their country or come back?
Well, as we have said, first of all, we'll provide scholarships. Second of all, as we incentivize our brightest students to stay at home, we will see steady economic growth. That is, our brightest minds will stay in developing countries and they will propel economic growth. And in 1 or 2 generations, we will be able to have equal incentives as foreign countries provide. So that is our mechanism. But continuing on my rebuttal, as I said, they don't come back. So that argument does not stand. They will not come back to implement any creative new project. Second of all, the model between the exchange of Tunisia and Egypt is false. As we have mentioned already in this debate, most people from Tunisia do not go to Egypt to study. They go to the UK, they go to Germany, and they go to France. They go to 2 or 3 Western countries, and that does not bring any diversity. It means that these students only learn from a very limited pool of Western values, and when they come home, they do not bring creative mindsets. They bring the mindset of the Western elite, and therefore we do not have this diverse effect, even when they come back, which in fact they don't. So to go on with argumentation, what we have proven is that when we incentivize these students to go abroad, they don't come back, and therefore we lose valuable economic growth. As I said in my answer to my point of information, that is very important. We need to incentivize students to fund them for 1 generation or 2, because when our brightest minds stay here, we will begin to see economic growth. Brightest students, brightest engineers, brightest entrepreneurs will start their businesses, their projects in their home countries. They will contribute to the development of GDP, and therefore we will see the raise of salaries, more robust economic growth, and therefore the next generations are going to be incentivized to stay in their countries without even the help of scholarships, because we will create these economic opportunities in 1 or 2 generations. The second and very important point that Salma said is that when we do not stop this regime, the continual exportation of our brightest minds to 1 or 2 global centers, to San Francisco, to London, we perpetuate global inequality. What does that mean? That developing countries lose out on their opportunity for economic growth because their brightest students go away. Then these bright students go to these foreign countries where they develop their projects, their ideas, and the already rich countries become even more richer because they claim the success of these projects, and developing countries stay behind, lag behind, because they cannot incentivize their students to stay abroad. So by incentivizing our students to stay home, we can begin to close the cycle of perpetuating global inequality. We can begin to improve the economic growth of our countries, improve our educational systems, and bring even more incentives to the students to stay at home. So in order to conclude and finish out my speech, the arguments of the proposition unfortunately do not stand. Students do not come back. They prefer to stay abroad where they have more economic opportunities. And in order to stop this cycle with stagnant economic growth at home and perpetuate the cycle of economic inequality, we need to incentivize them through scholarships in order to stay at home, develop their projects here, and offer their countries their valuable resources. Thank you.
Thank you. So the last speech in this debate for the opposition with 5 minutes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you all for your speeches. Thank you all. And I would like to start with a quote that says, "A good education is a foundation for a better future," was said by Elizabeth Warren, which is actually the core of our debate today. So I will start with just refute some things that the third government speaker said, and then I will support some things that the third opposition speaker said, and I will summarize the debate for you.
Sorry, Ibrahim, sorry. Could you please switch on your camera, please?
Sorry for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and I will then start with summarize the debate for you all. So beginning with the third speaker of the government, when she said we will get a loss of human resources, we know all that the percentage of students that go abroad and complete their study abroad, it's not a lot of percentage from the whole number of these students. So it's not a loss of human resources, but it brings us to a crucially important point that you said. You said that it makes the bright students go away, which is the fourth speaker said they will let them stay by offering scholarship at the same universities that they got accepted in because they are the bright student in that country, which is like standing in our place. We didn't do anything. They are the bright student in the country. They go in their country's universities with scholarships. But what they really need to go out there and explore the potentials and go out and make a real impact on the people and make a real impact on their homeland when they come back. Because as I said, not most of them stay there, as the honorable speaker of the third government said. Also, I want to mention the liberal education point that was said by the speaker of the opposition, and he mentioned crucially important. No, thank you. And he mentioned how it's crucially important to provide liberal education and diversity in education for the citizens and for the youth in this. At this time, especially in the world, that all countries are open together and all economies are affected by each other. As we said of COVID-19, just one place in the world converted the whole globe. So we need to make them move and get experience in other environments and in other education system, in other economical system, other political system, to provide the best solutions in their country when they come back. So let me summarize the whole debate for you. The Prime Minister, first of all, the Prime Minister mentioned his argument, which is immigration of students, and the leader of opposition said that it's not all of the students stay there, but we will make a contract to make them come back to the countries because it's already with a visa. A student
information.
He should come back to the country. Yes, please.
Are you going to oblige the students to come back? Despite their will.
Thank you. Well, the leader of opposition.
Sorry, Ibrahim. Please, Marcus, just stop the timer, please. Could anyone please from the technical support? There is someone who is opening his mic. It's called Tariq Nawaish, and his voice could make some sort of noise. So could you please mute him? Lewis or Arbit? Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry, Ibrahim, your time is up.
Yeah, thank you. So, as I remember, the Prime Minister point was, will they come back? Well, as I said, how they will come back, as I said, the leader of opposition and his deputy made a contract, will make a contract with the students to come back after the period finish of studies, which also, actually, it's automatic process when they get the visa of students, they should come back to the countries. And if they don't, they will get arrested and go back to the countries. So they will come back to the countries. So when I say also with the Prime Minister, when she said that
Point of information.
no, thank you. They make foreign countries better. Well, are you against making foreign countries better, or you are against them staying there? If you're against them staying there, then improve the quality of education in the country, and they will stay with love. So also, the Deputy Prime Minister mentioned that we have to change our system, which is contradiction the Prime Minister, which he said that we don't need the foreign education, and the deputy leader of opposition said also the same point, that they will not come back in the countries like Iran, as mentioned from Deputy Prime Minister. The deputy leader of opposition said they will come back for political reasons, and in Ethiopia for some economical reasons. So, and also member of government, as I refuted her at the beginning, when she said that they put the work in foreign country, it's some straightforward and simple idea here. The whole debate went to giving their scholarship. Every single speaker in the proposition said giving them scholarship, which is not sensible at all, because they should go out. The countries, not in the same countries. And also another point, they don't benefit the country. As I said, improve your education, your system education, and they will stay there. So finally, I want to insist and generalize and say that we are against this motion, which is make a great negative impact on our society. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and thank you all guys for this amazing debate. And now you are kindly requested to leave this room just for 15 minutes, and then you have to return back to, we will announce the winner team, and then we will give you some sorts of tips for the upcoming rounds. Good luck. Please leave the room right now, and we have to be only with Hassan and Marcus.
And me also.
Mohammed, hi Mohammed, how are you? Did you attend this? Because Danny just told me that I will replace you, so I assumed that you have a commitment or something like this.
No, I haven't commitment. They haven't sent me any email about that. I was thinking.
So I just received an email since 2 hours ago. He told me that you will replace Mohammed in this debate. I assume that you have a commitment or any issue. I don't know.
No, they sent me the link for the Zoom. No.
Good for me, Mohammed. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So did you start the debate since the beginning?
First of all, I'm in education, or you take it.
As I told you, I just received an email from Danny Badran, who's the chef, and he told me you will be instead of Mohammed, because I don't know if he allocate you in another debate or not.
So, guys, can I
yes, Hassan.
So guys, in order to solve this problem, because we can't go for, it's better not to go with 4 adjudicators. We should have 3 adjudicators in order to have an easier decision, especially that we will decide on several things. So okay. I wish Danny can join us and tell us, for example, how can we solve this?
Okay.
We already have time.
Thank you, Hassan. This is great. If someone could email or text Danny to join us to do this till starting the briefing.
I'm messaging him at the moment.
Okay, sorry. I have no problem, Mohammed, since we're focusing on the debate. So yeah.
Me too, my friend. Me too, my friend.
You have the pleasure. I will be listening.
Okay, great. So Marcus and Hassan, based on the adjudication manual that we have received, the first issue in this process is we have to write the winning team at the top of what blank page, and then the team or the ranked 4 teams will get the list score at the bottom of the page. Then we have to show all of us the page in front as some sort of. So did you finish it, or you need some time to decide who will win this debate and who is the team that gets this score?
didn't finish the the result yet, but just one thing, one comment. They had one main argument, and I don't know how did they manage to tolerate for 40 minutes going around the same thing, like from the first to last one.
They just like Marius, I'm sorry for interrupting. It's just they were talking about another debate, like for example, like if I wanna like for example travel, then how can I come back, and if I will come back or not. So I didn't actually get the idea of argument, and while for example every speaker is trying to like say if whether this will happen or not. So sorry for interrupting.
No. You are welcome, Ham. So guys, try to, I know this is, we can consider it from moderate to low debate, because all of those people are consider this speech based on rebuttal. There is no clear argument or more than variety of arguments. Accordingly, we have to nominate the first team or the best team that should win for this debate. So you are kindly requested, based on the comparative that Danny just explained to us in the session, we have to decide who is the best team based on just your observation and comparison, and who is the list, and try to agree on it before starting to debrief. So personally, I decide who is the winning team and who is the lowest score team. If you finished this, please try to get it in order to go through the debriefing in specific. Hassan, sorry.
Yes, Muhammad,
Yes,
I usually like when I finish the debate, like mine, for example, this is the worst or this is the first. But in this debate, for me, like they were all like average to below average. So I need like just 2 minutes, if you don't mind, just like to like add everything, all the grades, so that I can depend on the grades and not depend on my mind only. Okay, so
I have no problem, Muhammad. Okay, Hassan, go ahead. Marcus?
Same thing for me, because here I know that everyone was saying that I'm refuting this, and this, but they were not going deep in the argument at all. I mean, every one of them were saying the same things. So
okay, great.
So guys, it was really repetitive. So I really need like to check my notes and to write down everything.
Okay, let's do just from 2 to 3 minutes. Collect your observation and try to compare, and then we can rejoin again after 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Great.
Sure, I will stay here. I want to disappear.
Okay, me too.
It's better to stay here, because if I leave, I need like 10 minutes at least to rejoin. So it's better.
Okay. Just start, Hassan.
So let's stay here and decide.
Yeah, yalla, Habib. Okay.
Okay, Danny's here.
Yeah, hello, Danny.
Hey, yes.
I was thinking that I'll be educator in this debate, but I surprised with Mohammed that tell me that I'm not will be able to be
Oh, yeah.
educated.
Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I sent an email yesterday, and it took I think it took a while for it to go through, and we asked Muhammad Irai to take your place here as head
Yeah,
adjudicator. Is that okay?
But no, but you didn't call me. Just yeah.
Oh,
Tell
I
me-
thought.
Tell me.
Yeah, I didn't send the emails. I asked. Well, you know what? It's a bit of confusion. Maybe it's my fault. I apologize.
No, don't worry about that. Yeah.
Well, you know, an extra voice is not a bad idea. Listen to it and see how it works. Perfect. Thank you, Muhammad. I apologize for that.
No problem.
Muhammad Irai, are you done here? Because I was in another session.
Yes. Hassan and Marcus asked for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes
Okay.
to collect the idea.
Yeah.
Me too. So we will start the deliberate after
Okay.
1 minute from now.
Perfect. Okay, take your time.
Okay, good. Guys, did you finish? Marcus, Hassan, Marcus.
There are only 2 people on the waiting list, so you still have some minutes, I guess.
Okay, perfect. I still need.
Marcus, we
1
can
second.
start. Could we start? Yes. Could we start, because we only have just 5 minutes to finish all of this? Where is Hassan? I think we lost Hassan.
Yes, I think we lost Hassan.
Okay, we could share with Mohammed if you would like Mohammed to be. Mohammed, are you here? Do you hear me? Mohammed Omar, Mohammed Abdul. Okay, so I think Mohammed is not here available right now.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Mohammed, because we lost Hassan, so you will be in bad need for your opinion and your debriefing as well. as you can listen for us, we have decided to rank the teams based on your observation.
Okay.
So let's agree on this, Marcus.
So I was like turning on the light. So what did you say? You said something about the teams. I missed the last sentence.
Yes, we have to rank the teams. The first team or the winning team, we have to write it in the top of the page, and the lowest score for the team or the losing team at the end of the page. So if you can do this, just share the page like this in front of the camera to make sure that all of us have been agreed on this. Or may I ask you, who is the winning team from your perspective?
For me, it's
majors.
Who's going?
Sorry,
okay,
do you hear me?
So
Do you hear me,
on,
guys? I was just talking. Okay, I'm just testing my mic. Okay, for me, the winner of our team, for me, it was the closing government.
The closing government. Thank you for you, Marcus.
The closing government. Which team is the third?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I have the same. 71 points for Salma and Whip George. I have 71 for them.
Closing government is a winning team. So who is the lowest score for this?
Okay, that's a battle.
For me, I think that the lowest team is the opening opposition.
Oh, it's for me opening government. But let's see what Marcus just noted.
Let me just give me a second. So I have 69.5. Opening government as well.
Opening government, great. So guys, based on this, personally, I felt that the winning team could be the opening opposition, not the, as you just said, because I have my rationale, because you are the majority. I have to explain for you more why I selected this team to win the opening and why it couldn't be the Salma and the last one, or the closing government. For me, opening the opposition which was Raw'a and Ahmed Amin. Ahmed winning a very good point when he started to define the motion, which then didn't do as a prime minister. The prime minister is supposed to do the definition and contextualize the terms. She didn't do this at all. At the same time, the leader of opposition, which was Ahmed, he defined all the concepts and terminology in the motion, and he tried. Then after that, he tried to do, which is very good points. He could weight many marks, different marks about this, and then he received 1 point of information from Salma. He responded to her very well, and for his repetition, he explained one of the greatest things ever about the different background of the people. Although it had been rebutted after that. Then when it comes to Raw'a, if you continue with Raw'a, the issue of that she provide an action plan. She's very brilliant. She was very brilliant in providing an action plan for this, and she do a good argument about global balance. I have some differentiation between this team and the teams that you have selected, guys. But personally, the problem with the team of Salma and Marcus, or the closing government, that the speaker that was with Salma did not summarize all the arguments of the opening government. He only summarized what Salma just said. Added to this, that he did not do any rebuttal for the speaker before, the member of opposition. He didn't do repetition, and he just summarized, and he didn't answer the question of why should they win. That's why this guy is the main reason that I didn't get a good score for the team with Salma. Salma was brilliant, but for the last speaker, he is trying to do summarization, and only summarization for just what Salma has said.
He answered
sorry, Marcus, but I really somehow disagree with you.
Sorry, Muhammad. Sorry, Muhammad. We didn't hear you, Habibi.
Ahmed, the first oppositions, he came with a policy. Can you? Oh, you can't. Oh. Hello, can you hear me now?
No, Muhammad. We
Yes.
cannot hear you, Habibi. We cannot hear you.
I think now,
Can you
yes.
hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
For me, I disagree with you because I think Ahmed, he put his friends and his team in very embarrassing situation when he presented the policy of his team, where the sharing between the countries of the students and making contract with, which really refuted easily by the two teams from the proposition side. And also Ahmed, he were weak in frame of rebuttaling and refuting. He didn't take that refute the first argument very well of the Wijdan, I think.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, from construction point of view, the closing government were completely constructive, and their explanation for the third argument, which the Egyptian girl, I don't know what her name, was really deep and really reasoning. So for me, she was a good at arguments, and also she rebuttals all the previous arguments. And for the whipping, yes, I agree with you. They are missing some in whipping, but I think they have better content and better reasoning for me. So
okay, Mohammed, just to make it simplify, we have to compare between both teams. This team have a good one, which is Rawa, which had a great job during his rule. And even Ahmed, as you mentioned, or you said, he provided the definitions, which is supposed to be provided by the Prime Minister, which is so he has a credit for this. Even if he don't have, or he have a problem in his refutation or rebuttal, but at the end, the last speaker for the government did not do any of his job. He only summarized, even the summarization, he only summarized what his partner or her partner do. He didn't summarize what we then just did. And this is a very, very big mistake. Additionally, he didn't answer for the question, which is, why should we win? This is a very, very big hassle. We have to answer this. He should focus on the strength among his team, and he didn't do this. That's why I feel that we have to give the credit for the opening opposition team, because as a team as a whole, they tried to do their best in order to get a higher score. I agree with you that Salma may be one of the best speakers at this debate, but at the end, we cannot judge open one speaker. We have to judge open the team as a whole. Who did or delivered the message, and who, as a team, have a conceptualized definition for the terminology that we are going to debate. Marcus?
Sorry, I don't agree with you, Mohammed Iraqi.
Yeah.
I agree with Mohammed Jada. And as I mentioned before, I don't change my opinion. So for me, Whip, George, and Salma are the winning one. And I think George, he answered the points of information I have written here down. And I know that maybe they were not all like, how can I say, high level, but this was like a low average debate, in my opinion. And the first speakers, they had the opportunity to say a lot, to make the definitions and to split like good arguments at the beginning, but the arguments are so weak, and they had only one main argument from what I can say in the whole debate. And they were just repeating and repeating and repeating, like everyone was saying like almost the same. And
All right.
as I mentioned
may
before—
I interrupt?
Yes,
Sorry,
Danny, please.
I apologize, but can I interrupt? Because
Yeah,
Hassan
please.
was kicked out before, or he lost connection for some reason. And we have to agree that the adjudicators here are going to be Hassan, Mario, and Muhammad Iraqi. I apologize for that, Muhammad Abdul Jawad, okay? So it's those three adjudicators that are making the decision, okay? And Hassan was kicked out and he was waiting out for like 15 minutes. He's back in now. Again, I apologize for the delay, but it has to go that way because these are the names that we are listing as adjudicators. Okay.
Okay.
So
Danny,
we have to wait for Hassan, Danny.
Hassan is here. He's online now.
It means the result is open, Mohammed.
Okay. Hassan, yeah. With all my respect,
just like waiting.
Yeah. We just need your
I was
notes.
just
for
like
giving your
waiting for you guys to decide.
Yes, we can hear you right now. So please go ahead and tell us
Yes,
who
Muhammad.
is who is the best team or the winning team from your notes? Because me and Marcus, we disagree about this, and we are in that need for your opinion about who is the winners or the winner team for this.
Okay, so as I said, as a general feedback on this debate, I listened to Marius. Yeah, I agree with him. It's lower than average. Like, for example, no team came up with something new. No team came up with an argument. No team, like for example, like it didn't have mixing between refutation, argumentation. Like everyone was mixing between them, like just refuting and repeating the same thing in the argument. So, but for me, there are like specific debaters, not teams, like that were good. So I didn't actually like focus like Muhammad, what is your opinion, or Marius regarding the winning team? But for me, I think that the closing government were somehow like better than like other teams in this debate. Like for me, from my notes, I think like yes, like for example, like they came up with something like maybe somehow. Like the example, like they fixed some stuff that the opening didn't do, and at the same time, as a closing, I didn't expect from them, like for example, something more, especially when it comes to refutation, because as you know, guys, for example, we should look here maybe for the arguments, because there will not be actually refutation in this debate, because the arguments from the beginning were super weak. So they tried, like for example, to fix things, and at the same time, like they had actually the courage to listen and to answer points of information, and whereas they were somehow like not afraid to listen to them and like answer them. Can you tell me your opinion? I may have like maybe different opinion from Muhammad and Marius at the same time.
Great. No. You agree with Marius. We are just discussing, me and Marius, that the winning team is one of those both teams, either to the opening opposition or the closing government. So I tried to explain to Marius what was the reasons behind my selection for opening opposition. I just told him that I have a very big problem with the government whip, who didn't do any of his job. He just summarized what his partner just do, Salma. He did not summarize even what the opening government do. He didn't answer for the question, why should we win? He didn't put a strength or focus on the strength of his team. That's why, accordingly, I go to the opening opposition, and Marcus go to the closing opposition. So we just are discussing together why should they win and whether why should others win. So at the end, guys, we have to decide this right now.
As I said, like you make. I'm open for any discussion, of course, like things may change, but for me, closing government were better. Closing government, like, yes, the fourth speaker came up, like, for example, as if he was like memorizing things. He came up first saying that I will do so and do so, like we'll compare and I will do so. I thought like he will do his role 100%, but no, yes, you are right, Muhammad, like he didn't do his role well. But if we look also at the opening opposition, the case wasn't better at all. Like the opening opposition, for me, they were like not that good. Even Rawa, for example, like she didn't like in the first debate, educated on her, like she was, for me, was better in the first debate, although she lost the debate. So I don't think like, and for Ahmad, it's for me, it's he did like several mistakes. So this team, like for me, like were the second team, but the first team was the closing government for me.
Okay, great. Let's guys to agree with this. I will go through. I will go with your majority for you and Marcus. Then the winning team will be the closing government, as per you and Marcus. I'm very diplomatic and I will agree with you, both of you. Then the second team for this rank will be the opening opposition, and the third team for this debate will be the closing government, and the list or the fourth team will be the opening government. Okay, Marcus.
Can you please repeat them? So the first one I agree, the second one I agree. What did you say for the third one and the fourth one?
The first one is the closing government.
Okay, I agree.
The second is opening the opposition is the second.
Yes, I agree.
Then the closing opposition is the third one.
Oh, okay.
At the end, the opening the government is the fourth rank.
I agree with this.
Great.
Totally agree. I totally agree.
Great.
I agree regarding
Okay.
the third.
Okay, guys, thank you for this. We have some, maybe 1 or 2 minutes to give a feedback for the.
Yeah, Hamad, do we need to talk about the grades or something like that, or you will be sending them?
I will do this. I may ask Danny for this. Danny, could you please just help us with this? We have enough time to do grades, or we have to go deliberation to give feedback to the debaters.
Muhammad, I just finished writing an email to everyone saying that we're not going to be able to do that online thing. I personally tried it. It's a form that I received and it didn't work. So you need to eventually, right after this debate, if possible, get each other's contact details or something so that you can agree on the final breakdown and send me the Excel sheet tonight, because I want to put the first and the second together so we determine the third round in terms of who's playing who.
Okay, could you please share this sheet with me, because I cannot find it.
Oh, it's the sheet that's in the document that I sent. It's a link, but right now there is no sheet. I mean, if you just send me the scores, I'll put them in an Excel sheet. If you tell me opening, speakers with scores and who's first, second, third, fourth, I'll do everything.
Great, thank you. So, guys,
I can write them now. I mean, the result of
Danny?
I have them.
Guys, I think we have to spend this time trying to giving the debaters some areas of improvement or tips for the semi-final.
Yes, I agree with you, Muhammad. Just announce the winner, tell them what, a few things to improve, and then you can together sort out the numbers.
Okay, thank you, Dave. So Marcus and Marcus and Hassan, we are going to receive all the people and trying to give them general feedback. And if any one of you would like to just highlight any issue.
Okay, for my
Hassan?
point.
Okay, Marcus, go ahead.
In a positive way, of course, Marius. Okay, we're going to be nice.
Okay, I'm politically correct. So in this case, I would say to increase the variety of arguments, because they were focused mainly on one argument, and they were repeating most of the time, every debater was repeating more or less the same argument. So after the first speech, to tell the truth, I was getting really tired because it was difficult to follow them. Let's put it in a nice way, because they were just repeating everything. So to be less repetitive and to bring new arguments. I think the fourth speaker tried to bring a new argument was about COVID-19. The last speaker, that it's not his role. So I think another good point would be to keep their role, like the last speaker, for example, or the first one that needed to bring the definition and the statement. And I think Wishdon was the name. Right? She didn't do a definition. So to stay in the role and I think to have also a strategy, because the speaker, for example, Whip George, he tried to have a strategy, for this reason, I'm giving him the first position. But I mean, then he was not perfect, but at least he tried to have a strategy. He tried to stay in the strategy. And then, of course, he was lacking, but everyone was lacking at some point. So if I have to compare it, for this reason, as I explained before, he wins. And that's it.
Great, thank you, Marcus. Hassan.
Can we invite them first in, all of them, and then just give them nice feedback? Because they're all waiting outside.
Okay. So I will not add a lot, just 2
okay.
points. If you
I may share with them. Okay, can we back?
Yeah.
Okay, but is Mohammed going to say these feedbacks, or we have to say this feedback?
No, I will share this feedback with all of them right now.
Okay, perfect. So you'll do that. Okay, so
So Okay, so let's give you like two more points. In addition to the Marius what they said, like for example, I heard like that we're mixing between refutation, argumentation, and sometimes, like for example, I didn't know whether they are refuting or not, or are giving arguments. At the same time, they should give point information. They should learn how to give point information. Point information is not an answer to something that the other team is saying. Point information is, like for example, a question that should make some sense. It's not a direct question, and at the same time, answering this point information. If you have time, you should answer this point information. If you like, for example, you shouldn't be afraid to answer it. And at the same time, also regarding repeating things and repetitions, as Marius said, and for the rules, for the structure of the argument, structure of refutation, these are common, of course, mistakes in all the speeches. I don't think there's something like more to add. Like everything, we had problem in this debate, but we should be like somehow positive in our feedback. Muhammad, not super negative. Okay.
Thank you.
And another thing, and I may add another thing, I think I need to check now my notes. Somebody repeated the same question from the points of information. So they did twice the same question. I don't remember now because I need to check my notes and I don't have time. I need like 3 minutes to read everything. But do not repeat like questions from the point of information.
Great, great. So we are ready now, Danny, if you would like to accept all the people now.
Sorry, I missed that. I was checking my email. Yes, I think Albert is the person who will let them all in.
Albert, could you please help us to...
Okay, I'll admit them.
I'm here.
Okay.
So, Albert, we're allowing them all in? Yes, great.
Yes.
So all of the team. Hi guys, let's check the attendance please. Wishdan, do you hear me, Wishdan? Yeah. Muhammad, Wishdan or Muhammad? Wishdan. So we have to still for Wishdan. Salma and George. Salma or Georges. Salma. Okay, Raw'a or Ahmed. Ahmed, I can see Ahmed. Raw'a. Raw'a is here.
Yes.
Thank you. Ibrahim. Ibrahim is here. So Wishdan, we only wait for Wishdan. So the problem is that Wishdan don't have partners, so we have to make sure that she's here to give her the feedback. Wishdan.
There is nobody on the waiting room right now. Everybody that was there was allowed in.
Okay, great. So we have to start right now, and please, if anyone has a contact of Wishdan, to get in touch with her to just give her these steps that have been written from the all judges. Guys, well done. Thank you so much for your debate. It was really very nice, and it was better than the first round. For me myself, I feel that it was better than the first round of debates. There are many good issues that happened. All of you, I think, you finished all the 5 minutes, which is very good. You try to do your allocation or try to do your job or try to do your rule. So it's a good idea. Some arguments are good, but we still have some areas to be improved or to working on it in the semi-final or the final. The first one, by the way, these comments are the collection from me and Marcus and even Hassan to my partners for the adjudication. The first one is, please guys try to increase the variety of arguments. Sometimes we feel that during the whole debate there is only one argument and all of the debaters are trying to repeat it in a way or another way. So a variety of arguments is something so important, especially when it comes to the member of government and member of the opposition, or the third speaker for the government and the third speaker from the opposition. It's very important that we have to feel that there is a new turn of the debate. We have to feel that there is a new direction for the debate. So please be careful about this. And secondly, the refutation. We still have a problem in rebuttal or refutation, and we have to make sure, of course, not all of you, but we have to make sure that we are going to implement the rebuttal in a good way and in a good manner. Firstly, try to give the refutation or the rebuttal the time that it deserves. Some of you trying to do the rebuttal in just one sentence without highlighting any issue about that, and then go through directly to the arguments, which is not accepted, because we are waiting from your side is firstly to highlight what was the issue by going with the just saying, they said blah, 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 blah. Then you have to mention what was the problem with this. And then you have to inform all of the attendees or the judgment or even the debaters what is the right thing that we can see. By this way, we can get as an adjudicator or even as an audience the good way of refutation and trying to use this variety of refutation. Do not just, this is a contradiction and you can go through your argument. No, it's not allowed, of course. You have to be careful about the way you do the rebuttal and the way you can just say this. And for the whip, even for the government and even for the opposition, the rule of the whip is very important, guys. You have to make sure and check again how to do this job correctly, because all of the judgments, all of the audience are waiting for someone who summarizes the debate and telling the people why should they win, going through the strength and highlight the weaknesses among the team. So we have to make sure that your rule is not just summarizing. Your rule is more than like this. You have to be more comprehensive by applying different aspects and trying to show the people the areas of conflict that happened. This is a very important rule for that. The last issue for this debate before announcing the winning team is the point of information. We have got many points of information in this debate, which is very good. But at the end, we didn't feel that this point of information makes sense. We have to make sure that my point of information will make sense for the people that because we felt that two of you just repeated the point of information. Try to select the right time and try to do your best in order to have a very good point of information that you or even your partner could build based on the answer of the other team. But anyway, thank you all for this. We feel that it's a very good debate. We're still waiting from you in the semi-final and final. And by the way, all the committee from the adjudication decided that the winning team is the closing government, Salma and Georges. Thank you, Salma and Georges. Congratulations. Good luck for all of you. And we are waiting for a better performance in the upcoming debates. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Penny?
Yes, so thank you all for everything. You will be receiving information about what your position is going to be in the third round tomorrow, along with, I mean, you'd know basically whether you're going to be opening government, etc., etc. Okay, so tomorrow morning, expect that so you can get ready for the coming debate tomorrow. Thank you very much. Take care and sleep well tonight. Congratulations to the winners.
Congratulations for the winner, and thank you so much for this. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.